Hello everybody, this is David with another FPGA and Verilog video. This time I'm going to cover the PicoBlaze microcontroller. This is something that I discovered a while back, but I think I was turned off by it because it's all written in VHDL and all the instructions and the manual and everything that comes with it is all VHDL. But after studying it, I got it figured out, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what it is, how to get it, how to use it, and do a simple demonstration on an FPGA using Verilog. So what is the PicoBlaze? It's a microcontroller designed for use on Xilinx FPGAs. So many of us are familiar with the Arduino. This is the Arduino Uno. It's essentially a breakout board for this chip right here, this microcontroller, which is an ATmega 328P made by Atmel, which is now Microchip. But it's like taking that microcontroller and instantiating it inside of your FPGA and in using it that way. So this is the instruction set for the PicoBlaze. Unlike Arduino, Arduino is written, you use C++ and C++ libraries, Arduino libraries to program it. PicoBlaze is programmed in assembly language, good old assembly language. And this is the complete instruction set for it. Now, how do you get it? So you got to go to Xilinx website, of course. You're going to have to log in. Just use the same login you use to sign up and get Vivado. But you'll see the directory tree here. So under Home, you go to Intellectual Property, and then under the PicoBlaze 8-bit microcontroller. You can also Google PicoBlaze, and it'll give you the Xilinx site that you need to go to right away. But once you get in and you're in this area, you want to go under Design Files, and you want to, for an Arctic 7, which is on the Basys 3, we have the 7 series right here. You click on this and it'll download a zip. And then once you unzip it, this is what's inside the folder right here. There's a lot of stuff in here, but first thing you want to do is read this Readme first. This is the user guide. It's great read, tells you all about it. I mean, this thing is documented to the top. I mean, it's just very well documented. Here's a design. Yeah, you can follow. I think it uses a UART. There's lots of stuff you can use here. And then like I said, a lot of it's written in VHDL, but there are Verilog equivalents, and they're all in this Verilog folder. So inside this Verilog folder, you will find the PicoBlaze itself, this is what you will need to instantiate in your design. And then I'll show you this a little bit later when I get into the design. This has the instantiation templates for the PicoBlaze and your instruction memory, and you'll need this file right here, and I'll show you in a minute, for your instruction memory. You don't need to worry about all these other files. I got it working with just these up here. So this is the program that I wrote in assembly. It's really just 5 lines of code. In assembly language here, the semicolon is commented lines. So I got this constant, using it from the instruction set. So essentially, this is the port ID for the LED port and the port ID for the switch port. I'm just going to use 8 switches on the Basys 3 and have them turn on 8 LEDs. So here's the program basically down here. So we're going to check the input port, which is the switch port, and set it into this register. This is a register 0. And then we're going to set the output, read the output from register 0 and send that to the LED port. So whatever corresponding switch will turn on the corresponding LED, and then here's another instruction. We'll jump back to start. So this is essentially creating a loop, just like in Arduino you have your void setup and your void loop. This is kind of like the setup, and this is the loop right here. Now, what you got to do, because you can't really use an assembly program in Vivado. So what comes with PicoBlaze is this program right here, this kcpsm6.exe. And so you need to create a folder, or make sure you have in the same folder, you have these 3 files here. You're going to need that ROM form that was inside here. Here's where you get inside the zip folder. You have your .exe right here, and then you use this ROM form right here. Put that in a folder with the assembly program right here I just created, and then you're going to run this program and this is the window that'll pop up, this middle picture. And then you're going to type in the name of your program file. You need to save it as a .psm extension. And then you put that name in here, press enter. It took like a second and a half. And then you're going to end up with all these files in that folder. But what is amazing and cool is we got our instruction ROM. That's what this is. It takes your assembly program, compiles it, assembles it, whatever you want to call it, and then using this, this is basically a template for the ROM. It creates a ROM with your instructions for your assembly program that you just bring, that you instantiate in your design in Xilinx, in Vivado. Okay, here I am in Vivado, Basys 3 project with Verilog. You can see the module hierarchy right here. Have the top. This is the actual processor, the PicoBlaze, and then that program ROM that was just created using that program. So I'm not going to go through the PicoBlaze. Look, it's a pretty huge file, but this is PicoBlaze right here in Verilog. You can go through it yourself. This is the ROM that was created using that assembler program. This is a pretty big file as well. And so I just have a top, and then, so like I said, I got the clock coming in, 8 switches and 8 LEDs. Now all this other stuff right here you can find in that other file, and I'll show you right now. So this is that file, the KCPSM6 design template. Inside here you'll find all the stuff you need to instantiate it in your top. Right here's all your signals. I just copied this and pasted that in Vivado. There's also other stuff that you can use. I don't need to in my simple design, but there's reset, and then there's also interrupts for the PicoBlaze. So this is what you copy right here to instantiate the PicoBlaze itself. You just copy this right into your top module. Here's sleep, interrupt. We don't need any of that. And then here's the instantiation for your ROM. And you just need to change this name right here, and I'll go back to Vivado and show you. So here's all the signals right here that I copied and pasted. Here's the instantiation for the PicoBlaze itself, and then here's the instantiation for the memory. And I just changed this name to the name of my what comes out in the .v file, the ROM file from my assembly program. And then for the logic inside here, I'm bringing in the 8 switches, out goes the 8 LEDs. So I'm concerned with, right here is the out port from the microcontroller and the import. So I'm just going to use an import is actually a register. Where is it? Right here. Import is a register and output is a wire. So I need to use an always block for the register. So I'm just going to set the import equal to the value of the switches, and the LED I'm going to assign equal to the value of the output. And here's the constraints file. Just bringing in the 100 megahertz clock, change it to clock. Got 8 switches, 8 LEDs, and that's it. It was pretty simple to do, and I'll show you here on the board right now. Okay, before I show you on the board, I want to point one thing out that I found out. So you'll see these 2 lines right here, this commented line. I didn't want to delete it, but so just bringing it in as is, it threw an error in synthesis. So that's an issue with this signal right here. So what I did, I just took it out. Left it unconnected, and then it worked fine. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Okay, I got the Basys 3 sitting right here. It's all programmed up, and it's just switch turns on an LED. Hope you can see that. Kind of can see it, but yeah. So I can turn on any switch. So the microcontroller is reading the switch on the import, and it's turning on the corresponding LED through the output. It's really simple design, but you can imagine what you can do with something like this. I mean, this is, to me, it's pretty amazing. The assembly program part, or assembly language part, is not that exciting, but it's not that bad either. Well, that's how you get started, and where you get the PicoBlaze, and how you use it on a Xilinx FPGA. Thanks for watching.